Hi, Tony here from New American Arms. Another in our video series of unusual and rare guns. We've had a couple of these videos done lately, and we keep getting these really cool guns in, and we really want to share them with everybody. I'm actually kind of honored to have this gun in front of me and to be able to touch it and tell you about it. The gun here on the table is a Smith & Wesson Model 1 first issue. How cool is that? So Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson terminated their agreement with Volcanic to make that gun and started out on their own to make their own gun. And this is what they made. This is the very first Smith & Wesson gun. And there's more to it than just that. There's a lot of really interesting detail and history, not only because of the age of the gun, but because of this particular gun. And so I want to share a little bit of that with you. This gun was made in approximately 1860. They began production on the Model 1 in 1856. So this particular gun was made about 4 years in. And the serial number on this one is in the 10,000 range. The Model 1 was revised, refined, improved over the years. And so as they made changes to the gun, they would refer to them as second issue, third issue, and so on. So there was actually about 6 different modifications or iterations of the Model 1 while it was in production. And this one, because of its serial number, we can readily identify that it was definitely in the first issue. The first issue guns, they produced about 11,600 approximately. And the serial number on this gun, again, is in the 10,000 range number. So clearly is in the first issue. A couple of things about this gun that make it interesting, though. The very early first issue guns used a spring to hold the mechanism closed. This one has the latch on it. Most people that know a little bit about the Model 1 would look at the latching system, which is located here, and assume that because it's got the latch rather than the spring, that this could be a second issue. The factor that, beyond the fact that we know the serial number puts it in the first issue range, is the side plate on the gun. In the second issue, they changed the shape of the side plate. They made it larger to make it easier to work on the gun's lockwork inside. So this one has the original first issue frame with the small round side plate. And that helps us to identify the gun as well. Now, where it gets really interesting is who had the gun, who was the first owner of this gun, and we actually know who the first owner was. A gentleman from North Carolina. Last name was Dixon, and he was a lieutenant, commissioned officer, and was involved in 1861 in the beginning of the Civil War. In fact, Lieutenant Dixon was at the Battle of Big Bethel, which was the first battle of the Civil War, and was here in Virginia. Unfortunately for the lieutenant, he was mortally wounded in the Battle of Big Bethel. So he did not survive the year of 1861. He passed away that year from his injuries sustained in battle. And this gun then has been in his family since then. So we know it was made about 1860 based on the serial number. We know that he went to war, so the chances are probably pretty good that he took this with him. I think that really makes the gun, the historical aspect of this gun, even better than the fact that it's a Model 1 first issue. Some details about the gun. I have in front of me the ammunition that was fired in it. It's a .22 caliber rimfire cartridge gun. It used black powder. Also included with the gun is the original box. The box in itself is fascinating because it looks like some type of plastic, and in fact it is. It's made from a material called gutta percha. This predates plastic as we know it. They considered it a natural type of plastic. It was used in a lot of applications. The material itself came into use in the United States in the 1840s. So Smith & Wesson, somewhere along the way between 1856 and 1860, when this gun was made, contracted with a company to make boxes for their guns. And so this is the original box made of that material, gutta percha. It's pretty nicely made. As you can see, there's a representation of the gun itself on the lid in 3 dimensions, and it's got this really pretty scroll work around it. When we open the box, we'll see that it's actually a fitted case, that there is a place inside to hold the gun and to hold ammunition. So the ammo would be placed in this holder here and probably would fill it up, of course, if you're going to travel with it. And the gun would be placed in there, and the case would be closed and carried for safekeeping on a trip. And so we think that's just a pretty neat story. It's fascinating to be able to find such an important piece of firearms history, that we could find Model 1, Issue 1 of a Smith & Wesson, and to find it with its original box, and to be able to identify the original owner, and the fact that the original owner had some interesting personal history as well. So another in our series of rare and unusual guns. We do get stuff in on a weekly basis. If you're around the Richmond area, please stop by and see us. We'd love to show them to you. If you can't make it to Richmond to come and visit, reach out to us via email. If you're interested in anything, if you're looking for something rare or hard to find, that's sort of one of our specialties. We'd love to try to help you. So come see us, New American Arms, Richmond, Virginia.